let's take it. Yeah. We'll at least get off the bus.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Afternoon. You good?
Right.
You right?
Hello.
Talk to you follow the meeting and kind of as promised, where we go from here.
Yeah.
We've looked at kind of availability of dates and things like that, and in terms of that meeting that was discussed for those same 5 representatives and the Louise and Tony and Sean to get together.
Yeah.
18th of December we've identified as a date, which is 4 weeks from now, so it's a month from now as discussed. So if that's okay with you, that's how we would like to proceed.
Yeah. Is the 18th of December?
Well, go on.
No, go on.
Well, I mean, I can make it. I know that the other ladies present were quite concerned about Christmas, weren't they? But I mean, that's I can imagine. I could imagine. I mean, it's hard to say on their behalf they can be there.
In regards to Fernhurst's.
That's before, because
so the date we definitely wanted to get was the next month after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically that's well in time of that.
Yeah, so that was the intention, because we wanted to try and get it in early and get it in before that Christmas period, because otherwise it was going to slip behind and then it becomes really difficult to do. So we've got the 18th. Obviously you'd had some discussion about a wider dialogue outside of that kind of 5, and we are kind of committing to that. We're going to take that forward with you. We had some discussion about possible ideas, and we really want that to kind of form part of that discussion on the 18th with you, in terms of how we take that forward, because we said, well, we could look at doing something with the BBC as an independent kind of party in that, them hosting a debate. You know that they've done it in other areas. We'd need to speak to them. We could get somebody else in the independent. We could host it. There's a number of options, but obviously we want to make sure that we've got representatives of all parties, anti-pro, experts in various different fields, so that it could inform that discussion. But as I say, that's just to kind of put that idea out there as those maybe few options.
And we can explore those ideas on the 18th.
And talk about that on the 18th, just so that...
Now, if we want to talk to you in the interim period, who do we go? How do we contact you about that?
Depends on what it is you're wanting to contact us about. If it's specifics planning inquiries, obviously there is a route for that. And I know from the meeting there was a problem highlighted with the route that was there. We will look at that and we'll make sure that something's done, and we might provide a new contact point for you.
You're talking about representatives of all parties, so if say another party decides that they would like to come from another, that had some input into this, and could we contact you and say, would it be all right if this person comes?
Can I say something?
Yeah, certainly.
At that meeting then, the 5 people that were present made an agreement which has now been negotiated to do with that day, but it would be at that point just that 5.
Yeah.
So,
and it's at that point we can discuss about...
And then the wider thing, so that the idea was to have a firm date from Louise primarily on that side of things, but the whole thing with all the people present, get that's the 18th of December, and then go from there to look at wider dialogue.
Brilliant.
That's brilliant.
And obviously,
that's amazing.
in terms of issues that are ongoing, there is already events being planned for Bolcombe in terms of kind of that community engagement on that. So there's still other things going on alongside this. It's not the only route of communication. We're looking at a number of things, and I know Louise is committed equally to that, that issue of Bolcombe and the event that we're planning there to kind of talk to the community directly affected.
It's I think the overwhelming feeling here is that the trust is building, and to keep building on that is only steps in the right direction. And the way and our position as we stand is our position. We believe that fracking should be completely brought to a stop until this debate has been had. So we just like to just say, if we was obviously informed by Louise that she's sent a letter to Mr. Cameron already, calling for a national debate on fracking, and we'd like to support that call and back that call and help as much as we can in pushing that forward as well, and just building on that relationship and that trust, and really working together collaboratively to have that national debate.
And will planning applications for fracking between now and the 18th of December, how does that stand?
I think the discussion went on in the meeting. Hopefully that's been fed back, that we're duty bound to accept planning applications that come in.
Yeah, we did feed that back.
It's a process that we don't have control of. If somebody comes in with a planning application, we have to accept it, we have to process it, we have to put it out for consultation, and it's that usual process.
Well, you have to. You have to, but you can also reject the application.
I think what we need to do with the...
Can I just ask a point of clarification?
You can listen to the audio of it.
You accept the planning application, and then you...
When we accept, we mean accepting that it comes in.
Exactly.
We don't,
and then after that we're
not accepting it.
A planning application is verified as complete. I think this was possibly explained in the meeting, and I know you've got a recording of that. Once it's verified, it's then put out to the public for consultation, and a number of other statutory parties that are involved in that. It's then that it goes through a committee process for a decision, and then a decision is taken by committee. It's not taken by any officer of the council.
So you accept the planning application, then you have it verified, then you put it out to...
That whole process is open and on public record.
We need to be careful that it's not. The application is not accepted. My probably wrong use of the term. It's verified as
verified.
And then it's put out to public consultation.
There is, if you want me to, I can get you some leaflets that explain the exact planning process to you. It goes through the kind of various stages of what happens to an application, how does it get to a committee, everything else like that. So
I would love that. Thank you.
And so the 18th of December, a time, or would that be?
We were looking at the morning, if that's suitable again to you. Similar sort of time, 10 o'clock.
That's
again.
Cool.
We've not.
I mean, we're obviously saying yes on behalf of those two representatives, but I suppose if one of those isn't able to make it, we could.
Another representative.
Another representative would step forward. So
from the same association.
But I hope it will be there.
Well, it would be good to have that continuity.
Yes, it's true, isn't it?
It's a really useful discussion from what I've heard. It'd be good to build on that and kind of take that forward. So,
with the recording that we had, what do you want us? Because you obviously had a recording as well.
Yeah. If you could just make your version available on your website for the public to view or listen to. Just so that it's up and it's in the public domain from your source. So
okay, I mean,
we can do a link to that on radio's website as well.
Is that going to be helpful to kind of verbatim the whole discussion, or
do you just want notes
for any member of the public who wants to find out what's going on?
Because it's just a file. It's just a file, so it's easy to upload onto the website, and if people want to sit and listen to the entire discussion, they can.
I think what's interesting about it, because it basically followed there was a questionnaire that quite a few people signed. In fact, we forgot to hand some of them in. People have been signing them and they were happy to sign them, so there are various people that were dotted about by the looks of their locations in West Sussex, and that the discussion kind of followed that. So there's a logical flow to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So actually making the whole thing available.
Yeah. So the questions that were answered in there were actually asked by a lot more people than was just in there.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have that file from you guys' source as well as from our own sources available to everyone concerned.
And then you want to know what's happening here, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, we want to obviously understand your intentions in terms of this site, and obviously the operation whilst you're here does cost us money. It does cause us disruption. I know you don't purposely want to, but it does cause disruption to the estate. So
yeah, well, everybody's got together and spoke about it. Unless anything's changed, nothing's changed. We're happy. We're happy with the 18th of December, 10 o'clock being the next time we cross paths, and we'll begin to
Dismantled this afternoon?
We'll the likelihood is, because we've got to wait for transport to move things and stuff, it'll be probably before 9 o'clock. The green lawn will be cleared. It'll be restored to its. Definitely by the very latest 9 o'clock the lawn will be restored to its former glory.
Without a trace by 9
o'clock. You have a word on that.
Is that 9 tonight then, or tomorrow?
9 tomorrow morning.
That'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, to allow time for transportation, things like that. For all the stuff and equipment.
I mean, I have to ask: is the whole camp kind of represented here and unanimous?
It's a completely. There's no rogue. There's no rogue elements.
But that's been and I mean
that's completely unanimous.
And the reason that was possible to make that unanimous was because, or rather, consensus rather than unanimous. Then was
consensus. Thank you.
Because there's the mutual trust. It's like, we've had a meeting, we've opened dialogue. If you come out and say that, the only way of really continuing the dialogue is to be able to do something cohesive. So let's suggest you back.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No problem. I mean, in terms of the 18th, is there anything that you can say about your intent for the 18th? Because obviously we're not keen on having a repeat. I understand that many of you will want to be here, but can we not have the tents?
To demonstrate.
The point is the point kind of is that everybody here is operating as an individual. But what I can say from my personal self is that I won't be bringing a tent on the 18th.
I won't be bringing a tent.
Where will you be sleeping the night before? Where will you be sleeping the night before?
I'll find out.
There won't be no.
I mean, for me, and I think a few people that we've been, kind of.
My thoughts would be it wouldn't be helpful to constructive dialogue if there were people with tents on the wall.
Not only that, just as we feel it wouldn't be constructive. Constructive dialogue couldn't happen if, say, you were bringing legal proceedings against us. Constructive dialogue can't happen if we're in occupation of the lawn. So to have that constructive dialogue, we need that trust and that teamwork. And so for that reason, there will be no tents on the 18th of December. I can say from my position.
Thank you very much.
It's good to know. And obviously,
purely to get this talk today.
I mean, we still do feel that without bringing these tents, we would have never had this dialogue. But we might be completely wrong.
To stand up and make Sussex a frack-free zone and do a great service to the rest of the country. And that's what we're really looking to for. And I'm sure that as that information starts to really get to you, that is what will happen.
You will get all the support.
It's about that opening that debate, isn't it?
And also the obviously the representation that's visual as well as everything else. The community voices letters, a visual thing of people saying we're not going away. So if it can be constructively leading towards a national debate that resolves the issue once and for all, great.
And this is a wonderful opportunity for West Sussex to be the flagship for the whole of England and the whole of the British Isles.
As you know, we're pushing it straight up to the Prime Minister, and again there will be another further kind of letter going.
That would be great to see that
following today's meeting, because
again to see that letter
it's that power that you've given to us and the leader to be able to say, actually, I've met again, and there's a real kind of need for national debate on this, because as was explained in the meeting, some of our hands are tied to a certain degree on some of those things, so it needs to go national to have a real.
Yes,
any push from this council to make it go national would be fully supported by the campaigners county-wide. And if we can build that,
we recognise that
nationwide,
debate focusing on this issue, but addressing fracking in the UK, but actually coming out of this area, that'd be a wonderful way of promoting it.
And all these ideas we can talk about at the next meeting.
We'll give it some thought in advance, and obviously come prepared for that meeting as well. And obviously we'll be if we can get some contact details so that we can keep in contact with you in between, and hopefully you can then liaise with your other colleagues about being able to take that forwards, and for us to understand actually on the 18th who will be coming to the site, so that we can help to facilitate what you want to do on the day in a way that we can both accept.
Okay. That would be nice.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your work.
Thank you.
It might not be me, but
When I say you as a representative.
I'll make sure that there's contact details brought out to you. I'll make sure these leaflets are brought out to you.
Perfect.
So I don't want to just give you my contact details, then you not get an answer.
No.
So we can confirm the date and the time of, and in case anybody here is ill or something.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if the meeting is only going to be for 5 people, but some of us would like to be here to support our 5 people, is there somewhere where we can sit down and wait while the meeting's going on and be here before the meeting and after the meeting and chat, like, because we've been sitting around here chatting about what went on in the meeting, going over what went on in the meeting whilst we've been waiting. So that's for us, because we've got 5 representatives, but we are a group, and we won't be coming and camping here, obviously, but some of us might like to come and support our people. Is there going to be any facilities for us to do?
Thank you very much.
Well, I think that's where I'd really be keen, as kind of your representatives there, for you to have that discussion about what you want to do on the day, numbers and things like that, and then come back to us for some discussion about that, and then we can look at what we can facilitate.
Brilliant.
Because obviously I can't facilitate a room for hundreds of people if there were hundreds of people wanting to be there. So it's that balance.
There might be tens.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Esther, I'm sorry. Esther. Thank you.
Thank you.
again.
Bye bye.
Can I just grab a word with you about how you think it went from a council perspective, just for our news bulletins? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it?
I will do my best to make sure.